Welcome to the Professor Slots podcast. You know how you put a lot of time and energy into your slots play for not nearly enough wins? Yeah, I get it. I'm here to help you change that. And if you're trying to accelerate your slots momentum, become more profitable, and win more than ever before, today's episode will help you move forward with confidence. Hello, slots enthusiasts. It's great to hang out with you again for another Professor Slots podcast episode, which I do every few days, except lately, to help you improve your slots performance, leave with your winnings, and ultimately change your life for the better. And hopefully I'm going to change your life a little bit today so you can visit your casino and play slots smarter. And sometimes the best way we can do that to change slots enthusiasts' lives for the better is when they enter a business relationship with us. They become a client. They buy our online courses. They get coaching from us, whatever the case may be, because you have ways to take advantage of your casino, which allows you to impact how much you win and then leave with your winnings. In case you missed it on my last episode, I went over what you need for a fun and successful casino trip, the main slots industry, and provided a Q&A segment. I hope you enjoyed listening to this episode as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Today's episode number 192 includes a review of the slots industry in Maryland later in the episode, but I'll begin for you today with why slot machines are better than table games. Table game players have had a lot of undue influence on slot machine players, but putting our cards on the table, as it were, slot machines are better than table games. That's not my opinion, but established and verifiable fact. The biggest moneymaker for casinos is slot machines. That's well understood. If there was an equal number of slot machines and table games, most dealers would stand idle. So casinos adjusted the ratio of slots to tables until there were thousands of slot machines and only tens of table games at best. Even then, it's never long before a slot machine is played while table games stand idle. And idle slot machines cost little in electricity, but idle table games have dealers and others who still get paid a salary even while they're waiting. But my focus isn't about casino gaming revenue or popularity among casino patrons. It's about the odds of winning at slot machines versus any table game. I'll explore these facts in a moment. You're likely a slot player because you're here, but are you also a table game player? Or were you once upon a time? We all have opinions about table games. That's certainly fine. But if your gambling goal is to make money, then the best odds of winning matter. 20 U.S. states offer slot machine return statistics, of which 7 offer payout returns broken down by slot machine denominations. But let's take that a bit further. Of those states, how many also offer return statistics for table games? At least 4 U.S. gaming jurisdictions offered state reporting on both slot machines and table game returns. 1. New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement offers monthly gross gaming revenues. 2. Iowa Gaming and Racing Commission's gaming revenue reports. 3. Mississippi's Gaming Commission's monthly revenue reports and monthly archives. And 4. Nevada Gaming Control Board and Nevada Gaming Commission's gaming revenue information. Indiana also offers returns for table games, but not the win or hold percent, which is less convenient for our purposes today. Let's start with New Jersey. Why? Because casino by casino, they show month-by-month return statistics for both slots and table games. Returns from table games are shown in total with poker table games excluded. But if you go to those return statistics, you can see the 2 hold percents for table games and slots. Remember that casino hold percent is 100% minus player win percent. Every state does one or the other, around 90% players or 10% casinos. For New Jersey, it's casino percent, so the larger the percent, the better the return is for the casino, and the worse the odds are for players. Second is Iowa's returns for its 19 casinos. If you go to those return percentages, you can see table versus slot revenue percentages. Iowa is like New Jersey in that they provide the casino percent, so again, the larger the percent, the worse for players. Iowa also starts with a casino-by-casino percentage. However, unlike New Jersey, they also provide a game-by-game breakdown at each casino. Third is Mississippi's return for its 4 state regions. Not every state region has every game, but notice how the state return average is always just a little higher than the casino percent for blackjack. Why? Because there are typically twice as many blackjack tables as all other table games combined. What this means is the lower return, although not low with regards to slots, brings down the overall average return for all table games. The last is Nevada's returns. If we look at the state averages for April 2022 on page 1, Bacharach is relatively low, with slightly better odds than a typically worse penny slots return. But notice that the Bacharach return is only 9.27% for April 2022, as the 3-month average and 12-month average is 4 to 5% higher over the long term. PyGo is also very low, but it's over 10% less than its long-term average. Let's look a little deeper into the Nevada returns to solve the mystery of what's going on with these two table games. The returns for all of Clark County, page 6, show Bacharach to be around 9%, but PyGo had a 104.2% return for April. But where was this? Downtown Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, the Strip? Let's look further into Clark County returns and find out. Nope, not downtown on page 8. They don't offer Bacharach nor PyGo, just mini Bacharach and PyGo Poker, which is not what we're looking for. So let's look at the returns for the Strip on page 12. Ah, there it is. That's where Bacharach and PyGo drove down the state average. Mystery solved? But let's see if we can learn at which casino on the Strip where this occurred. During all of this, except for a couple of exceptions in April 2022 on the Strip, which was fun to track down, slot returns had casino percents in the single digits and perhaps 10% at worst. And table games odds were 13%, 17%, 25%, and even as bad as nearly 35%. Now, you may say these are averages across all table game players, and there are some terrible poker players out there that other poker players beat the pants off of. Yes, there are skilled poker players that beat the average. These professional poker players, or semi-pro, take the chips of poker players that don't know what they are doing. Same with blackjack players counting cards, or craps players using dice control to improve their odds. And yes, some casinos have pretty much shut down counting cards with infinite shufflers and other controls. And perhaps dice control only exists in the special tabletop conditions found at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut. Also, I do wonder if Mohegan Sun on the Strip uses the same craps table supplier as they have in Connecticut. It's something you'll want to check too, I bet. Yes, you can improve your odds with some table games if you put the skill into it, but the same is true for slots players. You aren't an average slots enthusiast, especially if you've taken my course. You're skilled. A skilled table game player has a long way to go to get their personal return over 100%, where they can start making a profit. 35%? 20%, but slots enthusiasts have a lot less further to go to get their personal return over 100%. 10%, 8%, 6%. Slot machine odds are factually better than table game odds. Not just better, but twice as good even if you're playing penny slots, or 3x better, or as much as a 6x better return. Putting all our cards on the table, slot machines are better than table games. Check the state data if you don't believe me. And if you try to spin it, remember that same spin applies even better to slot machines. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You also get 3 valuable bonuses, including 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership group, where you'll get community support accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. In the next segment of the show, I provide a brief overview of the current state of gambling in a U.S. state, territory of the federal district, emphasizing the gaming industry for slots enthusiasts. Let's go over Maryland's gaming industry for playing slots. Maryland slot machine casino gambling consists of 6 casinos with video lottery terminal (VLT) slot machines. Cruise ships traveling to international waters offer onboard gambling options. The minimum legal gambling age in Maryland depends upon the gambling activity. For land-based casinos and poker rooms, it's 21. For bingo, the lottery, and parimutuel racing, it's 18. The minimum legal gambling age is 18 for international cruises shipping out of the port of Baltimore. In 2008, Maryland voters approved having slot machines at 5 locations. This constitutional amendment included a licensing and regulatory legal framework for casino operators, employees, and contractors, as well as specifying where to allocate state gaming income tax revenue. In 2012, Maryland voters further approved a gaming expansion bill allowing table games at Maryland's casinos, as well as a 6th casino. This last gambling license, awarded in December 2013, resulted in MGM National Harbor's opening 3 years later. Next up is a usually short statement about slot machine private ownership, which I have included in case you live in this U.S. state and are considering owning a slot machine. Here it is. It is legal to own a slot machine in Maryland privately if it is 25 years old or older. The State Gaming Commission is Maryland's lottery and gaming control agency. The agency oversees gaming regulations compliance, employee background checks, the day-to-day operation of machines at each casino, offers casino revenue reports to the public, and more. In this section, I'll discuss Maryland gambling establishments. Maryland has 6 commercial casinos, no tribal casinos, and several vacationing cruise ships to international destinations out of the Port of Baltimore. As usual, when there are too many casinos to mention here, a complete list along with a casino map are on my webpage for this state at professorslots.com/MD. Maryland has no tribal casinos because it has no federally recognized American Indian tribes. As an alternative to enjoying Maryland slot machine casino gambling, consider exploring casino options in a nearby state. Bordering Maryland is to the north, Pennsylvania, to the east, Delaware, to the south, Virginia, and to the west, West Virginia and the District of Columbia. To visit any of my articles on these U.S. states and federal district, simply visit professorslots.com followed by its 2-letter postal designation. For example, my Pennsylvania slots article is available at professorslots.com/PA. Maryland has set minimum and maximum theoretical payouts of 87% and 100% averaged over the lifetime of each VLT gaming machine. However, VLTs set to have a theoretical payout between 95% and 100% must have written approval from the State Gaming Commission. On average, a casino cannot have its VLTs collectively exceed a 95% payout. The Maryland Lottery and Gaming Control Agency offers individual casino revenue reports. In summary, Maryland slot machine casino gambling consists of VLT-style slot machines at 6 casinos. Otherwise, cruise ships offer slot machines when sailing out of the Port of Baltimore to international destinations. Improve your slots performance in 30 days or less with my 30 days to play slots smarter and win. You'll also get 3 free valuable bonuses, including 1 month free to my Slots IQ membership group, where you'll get community support and accountability. Visit professorslots.com/30 days to learn more about the free bonuses, course content, and testimonials from participants. The next episode of the Professor Slots podcast will also include another slots-related topic and a review of the slots industry in Massachusetts. That's the end of another great episode of the Professor Slots podcast. Thanks so much for listening. I plan to have the next episode come out very soon for you, where I'll have more amazing content for the show. Until the next episode, have fun, be safe, and make smart choices. Bye.